Greetings, all excellencies. Good evening from India. Thank you so much for joining. Today, a special day, very, very special day. Today, we received many registrations for this quality education. It took a lot of time to select you, academicians, intellectuals, people of different nations. So anyway, we are on this fourth day to discuss SDG 4 quality education. To discuss the subject quality education. Before we are going into the program, just I want to announce two things. We are expecting an endorsement for our World Peace Summit from our Honorable Union Minister of India, Sri Amit Shah ji. Yesterday we received it. Today we sent the information, whatever they have asked. They are positive towards our World Peace Summit. If God blesses us, we'll get surely endorsement by valedictory ceremony. That would be so great. Because this time we are publishing the World Peace 2023 souvenir along with 2022. Nearly 100 national and international messages, nearly 200 international speakers. So we have done a lot of work on these SDGs and we received a number of inputs. With all together, we are going to make a souvenir to present almost all 195 nations, presidents and prime minister in printed copy. That is our motto. We are going to do that with this 2023 completion, after completion of 2023 World Peace Summit. So that is the one thing. And the second thing is that from West Indies, Dominican Republic country, foreign minister, they sent a message saying that they wanted to attend World Peace Summit in person. All governments or universities sent their messages in the form of letter due to some security and other problems as we are organizing through Zoom. But this time they mentioned that their foreign minister would join in Zoom meeting. That is going to be so great because one international personality, a country's foreign minister joining our program in person, that is a great thing. And it would be very happier. And we also received messages from United Nations, some ambassadors, those who are campaigning for SDGs. They wanted to participate in our programs. Soon they will join us. It will be so great for our program. It will be added advantage and it's a boost up to our program. So these are the two developments that happened in these 4 days. And so great, we are moving in advance. Actually, we have Professor Dr. Vijay Carlin ma'am to speak a few words about our Royal Council services, but due to her throat pain, she couldn't speak anything. But I invite ma'am to say hi to all. Ma'am.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening to all. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Dr. Carlin, Chairman, the Life Foundation, Managing Director of Vishwa Humanity United International Royal Council. I would like to say a few lines, not much, as my throat is badly affecting me. But I'm recovering slowly. Tomorrow I will be all right. I'm confident. Under the umbrella of Vishwa Humanity United International Royal Council, we are working for the welfare of at our level. First, we focus on the world peace. As we know, we are conducting the programs from 1 to 17, addressing the sustainable development goals, and as well, the world peace. And we focus mainly the peace within, starts from individual, then to the family, society, nation, to the different countries and globally. So we are trying our best level to inculcate peace in the minds of the people by taking up so many awareness programs, especially the people who are underprivileged and downtrodden and poverty-stricken environment community. So we are trying our best level to see that some kind of fear is erased from the minds as in various aspects. They will be depressed and a lot of fear and phobia in minds as how do they survive in future because of so many problems they need to address as they are not well to do. So we are trying our best level to take up awareness programs. We're encouraging them. We are supporting them, and who are weak mentally, we are encouraging through our awareness programs. And we have two organizations under Vishwa Humanity. One is Telangana Kala Parishad. The other one is the Life Foundation. Telangana Kala Parishad mainly focus on cultural diversity, believes in unity, and cultural diversity where the harmonious living is important. So we inculcate harmonious lifestyle and the of the people, and we encourage them for the cultural diversity. Telangana Kala Parishad has taken so many cultural programs physically and conducted and brought a kind of awareness about cultural diversity in unity. So we believe in diversity in unity, as it is called as Vasudhaiva Kutumbam. And also, as India is mainly dependent on the agriculture, agriculture is our backbone and farmers our main supporters who help in production of the food to meet the demands of the growing population. We know India is population-wise is thickly dense, and a lot of demand is there regarding the food. And because of high technology and hybridization, etc., they are taking up the knowledge of high standards of technology and implementing in production of the food. During that time, they faced some poverty and some other issues, and they were very much depressed at that time. Telangana Kala Parishad supported and shown the solidarity and stayed with the farmers and expressed their support towards the farmers. And the Life Foundation mainly focused on underprivileged community. So it has adopted 55 acres of slums in Saidabad colony. It is called Singareni Colony slums. And we encouraged the good education for the underprivileged children. And we noticed that environment is highly polluted and fill the environment with bad habits, and male are much addicted to the bad habits, and they are not taking care of the family and children. At the time, we noticed many of the rapists and drug addicted were in that slum, and we want to protect the girl children and boys, especially young boys, from the clutches of these bad habits and addictions. So we have started study centers, especially in the slums. We have started with 1 and it is moved to 4, and still we are moving on. And from 30 students, the strength has been increased to 150. And I'm sure that our students have written 10th class exam, and 6 students, and definitely they come out with a colorful result. And we are seeing that the students who are under in 5th class, 6th class, we are encouraging them to write the entrance exam for Telangana state level exams. And we are seeing that they will be qualified. Such coaching is given to them. And we have placed them in different government institutions where they can have the free education from 5th class to degree level. In this way, we want to support them through education, as we believe education only can bring a tremendous change in the minds of the people, and that is an all-round development. So we are inculcating education in this way, and important, showing the taking up many awareness programs, inviting the parents, but male, that is fathers do not attend, but mothers, grandparents attend, and we encourage them to join them in our study centers. And we believe that education only can bring change, and they too accept it, and they're sending their children to our educational centers. As well, we are for the women empowerment, we have started tailoring center, and we are moving ahead with so many projects. Very soon we are going to introduce, and in the next year we are going to say how best we have done to the underprivileged servant maids, and how best we encourage them to have their self-supporting system, and to empower them and support the family. So in this way, we are doing various, as a counseling psychologist, I have taken up so many awareness programs in the for the underprivileged women, that is servant maids, slum women, and we have shown that what is even to the girls, what is good touch, bad touch, and how to protect themselves, and how to take care of the family, how to support the family, and the drug addicted husbands, how they have to encourage them to come out from the clutches of the bad habits. In this way, we have taken so many physical awareness programs, and we are bringing transformation. At our level, we are trying our best level to make the environment clean with good habits, good lifestyle, and we want them to have a healthy life with healthy mind. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for that great introduction about our organizations. Really, we're honored to have that presentation. Now we have a person, a chief guest of this program. He's so humble, down to earth. Actually, the moment I met that person, I thought that he was just a simple person in a college. That's what I thought. But while he was interacting with students, you know, he was talking about satellites. Suddenly, I was thrilled like anything. And he was giving information like anything in the duration of 20 minutes when we were in that lab for satellites, planes. Really, I was shocked and I was thrilled. Because if you see that person, he looks very simple, humble, and a bit innocent. But the moment he started interacting with students, the person, the intellectual person in him, really, the moment I felt very happy. And then I started, sir, I want to have your card, and we want to know about your lot. And so such a way we started interaction. And today, the great Ramesh Kulkarni sir is here. Now I want to invite our beloved leader, Dr. Ramesh Kulkarni sir, who is the principal of Adarva Engineering College in Mumbai. He is here as our chief guest to this program to start the first speech of the day. Over to you, sir.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening to all. Whatever the sir is actually explain or introduce me, really I'm very much thankful for his kind words. So this is my fashion, what actually I'm doing it. Fine. That is a different issue. Now, today is a very important, as sir is already told, regarding we are discussing the one of the major important tasks which is required in the world for the basic backbone for the countries and the world. That is the quality education, or education and the quality education. Okay. So when actually I'm thinking regarding this particular one, so I just recall some fundamental words from Swami Vivekananda. That is, on his word, how he defined education. Education is not filling the mind with a lot of facts, perfecting the instrument and getting complete master of my own mind is the ideal education. Just a two word or a consider two lines are covering a lot of things. It means it is actually indicating that just you are go on actually explaining the things, you are go on filling the things in the mind of a consider those children or students is not called as education until and unless the students are able to master of their own mind, own idea, then that one is referred it as a ideal education. So really, it is a, one of the considered the best code what actually we are able to see for the education. So we can say that the education is a track or a feature. Without education, there is no feature at all. It means for that particular track, we are supposed to start our working today itself. That is, the person who is actually working towards the quality of education or towards the education, he is able to move for the future in a bright manner. So, so what actually you can say that without you can say that so no social health economic, and political progress is possible. That is, without education, there is nothing, what I can say that there is nothing possible for the society, for the state, or even for the country, and even you can say that for the world itself. That is, so the education is one of the most important parameters there. Then once again, the question arises, education and what is actually the quality education? So this is the one major important task what we actually were discussing it here. So quality education, what is actually the quality education? Is the normally the common question what it is going to arise in all the mind. So I try to define the definitely okay, sir, that the quality education as before actually defining it, I'll make it clear that there is no much clear you can say the definition of the quality education at all. I try to put some basic fundamental okay, sir, that the definition of this quality education on my own word. Education that enables students or children to develop and flourish. So the education which is able to provide this sort of confidence in a student or in a children, then that one we can call it as a quality education. So if I'm not able to develop our own confidence in their mind, in their confidence or consider the ability to face whatever the problem they are getting it, then I can say that it is not a quality education. So this is how actually I try to define the quality education it means. So the development of the society, state, country, and the world is depend on the education. And what actually we're providing, the name of the education is very important one. So, so it is very important to provide a quality education for the betterment of the students or a betterment of the country and as well as the world it is. The quality education is once again, you can say that it is the golden thread of development. So without quality, induce and equitability education, continuous, I mean, the countries will not able to break the poverty of you can say that the cycle, poverty cycle of that particular country. So if we want to develop towards the betterment of the country or towards the betterment of the life of the citizens, then obviously we are supposed to break off this particular golden thread with the help of the quality education. So providing quality education itself is one of the major important tasks. There are number of the hurdles are there, and then afterwards it comes the quality of the education it means. So to providing the quality, providing the education for each and every citizen of the country is one of the major important requirement. So rather I can say that it is necessary to make right to education for all is therefore an absolute emergency considered emergency task for each and every country. So until and unless we are able to take this as a major important challenging task, then we are not able to develop, we are not able to achieve what we want to. Hence, a lot of efforts are being begun with rising awareness, move to capacity building, then to experiment, and finally implementation of golden practices towards the education or to consider quality education. So a lot of researchers actually are working on this particular one, how to improve the quality of the education. So today and tomorrow also we are getting a lot of the output and the different models for developing the quality education. Okay, so the important quality in the education goes beyond the reach of the people. It means that there are the various countries which are not able to provide the quality education with a you can say that within a cost-effective manner. What I can say that here. So within a cost-effective manner, if the country or the government is able to provide the quality education, then that particular country, I can say that it is able to achieve whatever he is or it is supposed to be. So cost effective, the word is very important here. The cost effective means that, so the common to common people or common to common, you can say that the citizen of that particular country is able to get this particular quality education. He is deserved to get this quality education. That is, uh, when actually the person or when actually the a particular child or the student is get quality education, then he is able to consider the communicate to the other people or the other student how actually what is the importance of the consider the education and how actually the quality education is helping for the development of his own as well as his own society. Providing quality education is a complex task actually, so it is not so easy because the concept of quality education is continuously evolving. It's not a constant one. We are not able to. Why actually I told that you are not able to define a concept the quality education is because the quality education is once again goes on changing depending on the certain conditions. Actually, there are number of factors which are actually influencing on this quality education it is. So there is no one to consider the definition, list of criteria, definitely consider the defined curriculum for consider the quality education it is because the quality education that is curriculum. Why actually you are not able to define a particular curriculum? Because the technology as well as the social factors are going to get changing every day and every time. That is why in each and every occasion we are not able to change once again the curriculum of that particular course or consider even that particular stream. So that is the one of the major important. What I feel is the one of the major important uh, hurdles for that or slow downing the quality of the education is concerned. So the quality education is a dynamic concept that changes and evolves with the time and is modified according to the social, economic, and environmental concept. So each and every factors are actually going to get considered here. That is why it is not we are not having actual basic definition of consider the quality education. So it must be locally relevant and culturally appropriate. So it takes a different shape around the world. Okay? So then how actually you can say that characterize the quality education it means? There are a lot of research are actually working on this one. And the output of some researchers, just I'm summarizing here as a basic characteristics which are defining the quality of the education it is. Okay. So the first character is the identification of learners. This is the first requirement of the requirement. So if the system is able to identify the quality, I mean learners, then that particular the system, we can say that is a one quality, I mean the one indicator of the quality education it is. So identification of the learner is a major important to consider that task. Okay. So suppose if our system is able to achieve this one, so we can say that it is a one quality, consider major quality of consider the indicator of the quality education it is. And the second one is that so empathize education role in promoting values and attitude of responsible citizenship and in nourishing the creative and emotional development. So emphasizing the education role for this particular consider the development of consider the responsible citizenship and all. So then that is also once again you can say that the major measuring of consider the quality education. So based on this one, that are once again there are a lot of different models are also going to get proposed it here. Okay, just for understanding purpose, I'm discussing here one or two different models. What actually I came across when I'm actually referring a lot of different literature. So the first model, the economic model of education. So this particular one, which deals with input and output, it uses the quantity measure for output as a quality. So it means that so how many students are actually enrolled and enrollment rather I can say that the enrollment rate and retention rate, okay, and then returns of consider rate of returns in a investment in education in terms of consider earning and achieving of measured in national and international tests. Okay, so how much I am able to achieve with the help of this particular model, then economic model is concerned. Then based on the certain numbers, so we can say that so the quality education is able to achieve it in this particular model. So this and the second model is that the humanist traditional you can say the emphasize educational model. So in this particular one, we are actually taking the students as the center of you can say the process, and with the help of you can say that this center, or rather I can say that the students, whatever the goals we want to achieve it. So if I am able to achieve the goals, then that particular can say that the model is able to give me the quality education. Goals means it is a once again a global or once again it is a personal goal. Okay? Either like a goals like social, human rights, social justice, and so on like that. Like all the goals, if I'm suppose if I'm not able to achieve all of them, at least the major important goals, if I'm able to achieve by this particular model, then that is actually the major important success of this particular concept. And the third model actually, the learning as a connection. So this in this particular model actually, it is connecting the local knowledge of the person along with the abstract concept of that particular thing. So in this particular case, both the systems are actually both that is the provider as well as the receiver. Both are actually developing towards the maximum or the achievement purpose. So compared to all this is experimentally also once again I as I referred certain papers, so this is actually giving a good result in number of countries. Okay, so these are certain models and all other things. Then how what are the actually the major important task what we are supposed to provide achieve it by with the help of the quality education or rather even with the help of even education itself. There are number of targets. Just the major important targets, just I'm covering it because of once again the time limitation and stuff like that. The first one is that the first target or consider the requirement is that the free primary and the secondary education. So as far as this particular one is concerned, now in India, we are already making this effort towards this particular goal. So based on the present government is actually making free education for primary as well as even the secondary education, even up to 12th standard, they are now planning to make it as a free education. So when actually the economically once again it gets supported by the system, then the number of droppers in this particular system is going to get reducing it. Rather, I can say that even number of so that the peoples are going to get increased in the education field. So that is how we are able to achieve once again the whatever the goal we want to achieve by the nation. And the other important goal, what I uh, find it is here in this one is that equal access to affordable technical, vocational as well and higher education. So if we are able to provide equal opportunity for each and everybody for technical and vocational you can say that the education, then technically also we are able to achieve you can say that a higher level and the country progress is also going to get achieved. So we are not supposed to have any sort of can say that discrimination for who is supposed to take and who is not supposed to take. So if I am providing you can say the equal opportunity, then obviously the development is once again increasing very fastly. And the third important what I feel is that eliminate all discrimination in the education. Whatever discriminations are there in educational, getting educational, we are trying to avoid them by providing a certain so that the way how to move towards that one. Okay, so that is how actually this is another important point what I feel it here. And the next one is that I don't know how much you can say that the flexibility is expand the higher education scholarship for the maximum number of people. See, here in this particular case that the thing, a lot of cases that the things are going to get involved. So when actually I'm providing, it means I'm supposed to provide the scholarship for the student, those who are actually taking for the higher studies. and the technical education, or it may be any type of the higher education. So it means there are number of consider the organization which are running this type of consider the courses. Either they are self-financed or it may be semi-government, and sometimes there are some few consider the government organizations which are available in our country. So if I want to provide a quality education, then obviously a lot of other things are also supposed to be get supported for this. Then in addition to that one, so we are supposed to uh, sustain economic system also. So that is how, if the person is not able to pay the fee, then he is dropping his course, and then the achievement is not going to get offered. So suppose if the government is actually helping on the other hand for the student, in the name of the student, let us say, in the name of the student, for his education, scholarship, and so on like that. Time to time, if this will get refunded, I mean, if it is deposited to the institute, then obviously, so where the institute or the organization or the university is able to provide a quality education. So then the next one is what I feel is a very important one, is that is the increase the supply of, once again, the qualified teachers. So the major important requirement for the quality education is that basic backbone, what I can say is the quality of the teacher. So nowadays, actually, number of occasions we are saying that they are making it as a PhD, or they are making it as a, where they are supposed to have, once again, the certain paper publication, research work, and so like that. So after, for making all this as a, once again, the basic fundamental, the idea behind is that the quality of the teacher is supposed to increase. If the teacher is actually get well qualified, well knowledgeable, and well equipped with a certain technology, then he is able to deliver the best quality of the concept for the student. Okay, so this is these are the major consider the concept what we are actually achieving with the help of the quality education. Then nowadays actually, so the even the government is also once again making a lot of effort to increase the quality education. That is, different government organizations are actually get developed for accreditation, what we are referring as for quality. Or rather, I can say that grading the institute on the basis of their certain uh, qualities, what actually they are adopting it. So that is the NAC as well as the MBAs are the major important things here. So in this one, suppose I don't want to discuss all this one in much more detail, because all of we are already aware of this one. So when actually we are seeing, because of that the basic concept or the requirement of NAC and MBA. So here each and every parameter is actually quantized and is measured actually. Okay, so infrastructure wise required, and once again the number, how many number of boys and girls are actually taken the admission, how many male and female teachers are there, how many PhDs are there, and what is actually the quality of library. So just when actually we are seeing all the points, no? So each and every point are actually targeted towards the quality education. So if the organization is getting a more marks in this one, it is indicating that that particular organization is providing a quality education. So this is how the quality education and providing the quality education are the some of the concept what I feel personally for the improvement of this one. Okay. So as sir is told regarding the satellite and all, so these are the basic technologies which are actually developing in all the countries. So suppose if the organization is able to provide a latest technology along with consider the personal development, so that particular organization will be standing as a major consider the backbone for the development of society, the country, the world. Okay. So these are the some ideas what I had thought, and I'm actually giving my thought in front of you. And thank you very much for
Thank you,
listening my
sir.
words.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have given almost all problems that are involved in the quality education, sir. Really, it's a universal subject. every board you have done a lot of research, but here time constraints. Otherwise, we would have a lot of discussion again. But we need that paper, sir, because we want to publish it in our sovereign. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Now invite our one more chief guest, Dr. Parinsomani ma'am. Are you there? Parinsomani ma'am, can you please switch on your video?
Yes, I'm there. I'm there.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
right. No.
Okay.
You have to wait for the introduction first, so that
Okay.
we can start. I request all our speakers kindly maintain time, because we have given 10 minutes to speakers, I mean chief guests, then 5 to 7 minutes to our honorable guest speakers. So kindly maintain the time, because today we have more number of speakers, because the subject is on quality education. So now I invite our one more chief guest, Dr. Parinsomani ji. Just I want to mention 4 or 5 words about her. She is a pioneering woman, a compassionate woman, energizing woman, humble woman, imaginative and progressive. Because the moment we search her name in Google, Dr. Parinsomani, the first term comes academician, then humanitarian, TEDx speaker, beauty pageant winner, so what not. She has many number of traits in her, but I appreciate the quality academician, a true academician, that too an independent academician, having her excellency presence here, because she radiates positivity. She's so humble, even though she's in UK, but whenever she comes to India, whenever we meet together, you know, the way she treats all the people with a lot of gentleness, really so humble and down to earth, having her excellency in this occasion. We are so much honored. So I invite Dr. Parinsomani ji, Director, London Organization of Skills Development Limited from UK. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rajarao, for a wonderful and a kind introduction as usual. I don't have any words to say. A big thank you for introducing and making me feel very proud and privileged to be part of this event. I want to say a very big thank you to Professor Caroline as well, and all the team who are the part of this event, and all the speakers, all the dignitaries on the line and off the line. Thank you very much for having me. It is my privilege and it is my honor to be with you all today. Let me start giving you a quote of Nelson Mandela, who quoted that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. I am sure that we all will agree that our current situation, our world is facing many challenges. Well, it is up to us to how we can use our education to benefit of the global society. We must learn. What do we learn? We must learn that we do not know, and we must share the knowledge that we already possess. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 4, have been devised to overcome and highlighted global challenges by the year 2030. 17 SDGC goals have been established and can be perceived as a blueprint and the planet, addressing issues pertaining to current economic situation and pertaining to the urgent economic, political, and environment challenges. They are a necessary foundation for a peaceful, prosperous, and a sustainable world. So SDG 4, quality education ensures that every individual is entitled to exclusive and a quality education. Simultaneously, promoting lifelong learning is one of the part of everyone's life. This is especially important as education is vital part of societal development within contemporary life and a basic human right of every global citizen. The continuous change within societies highlights numerous challenges, and these can be overcome through appropriate applied knowledge through education. So novel scientific discoveries and technological advancement can be achieved through quality education and learned individuals dedicated to progression. The need for well-educated workforces comprises of diverse skills and abilities constitute towards societal growth and sustainable development. The UN refers to education as a key through which other SDGs can be attained. So it has been proven that though attending quality education, individuals can become free of the poverty cycle that they are stuck in. Hence, education facilitates the reduction of inequalities. Individuals globally are empowered to cultivate a healthy life that is sustainable. So, residing in a diverse society can highlight numerous disparities between individuals belonging to different cultures and backgrounds. So, hence, education is a medium through which understanding and tolerance can be cultivated, bringing societies together, harnessing peace and unity. Education is a medium through which socio-economic mobility can be increased and poverty can be evaded. The acquisition of knowledge through education has the power to reduce inequalities. Gender inequalities are present within acquiring education as a female in different parts of the world are still deprived of educational opportunities. The barriers that females experience stem for cultural misunderstanding of the importance of education. So preferences given to the male family members, a lack of sanitization and toilet facilities for female to use, and a financial implication to afford tuition fees. Basic stationaries, books, and transport to educational institution. But the COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the need for well-educated individuals within a variety of subject areas to devise the implement strategies to overcome challenges encountered now and in the future. So individuals should work together with local governing bodies to ensure practical policies amendment and implement initiatives that have been set, ensuring access to good quality education. So within areas of poverty and financial instability, homing the marginalized and vulnerable opportunities should be offered to attain free education. Through an educated society, gradually bridges can be built within diverse society. However, this can only be achieved when global societies work together. Therefore, we should make a conscious effort to come together and support the attainment of SDG 4 goals. So I think if we all work together, I'm very sure we can make a difference in this world. Thank you very much once again, Dr. Rajarao and Professor Caroline and each and everybody. Thank you and namaste.
Ma'am, Parinso Mani ma'am. Oh, sorry. Professor Dr. Vijay Kerali ma'am, few words from you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us. Your words are so inspiring. Always you bring a lot of energy to the platform. Your environment, the aura of your presence will be so jubilant. It will spread like anything, ma'am. Really, I always feel delighted to see you and hear your, listen to your words. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, Excellency. We'll invite our next speaker. We have a special guest. We'll invite in a special way. Shiraz Debra Kifreji, President Tunisia Pioneers. She is with us today to share her views on quality education. Over to you, Excellency.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for this invitation, Dr. Rajaro. Can I share my screen for my presentation?
Yes, please.
Okay. Did you see it?
Yes, yes, it's opening. Okay, perfect.
Okay. Then I will speak for the quality of education in Tunisia. I present myself. I'm a mediator, arbitrator, and auditor, president of Tunisian Pioneers. It's as an association. And I have a doctorate in accounting and also acts as university teacher for HOC and the ESG in the field of accounting, finance, arbitration, and mediation in Tunisia. I'm also manager of a firm of auditors and accounting services, which name is Contaplus, manager of a training and arbitration center, which name Alpha Partners Tunisia, acts as a judicial administrator and legal expert in the Court of Ministry of Justice, Tunisia, and I'm also a member of Tunisian Association of Mediation, vice president of Tunisian Indian Chamber of Commerce, and vice president of Tunisian Industry Chamber of the Center. Then my presentation. Tunisia is located, located in the northmost part of Africa, the country. The country is bordered by the Mediterranean Sea along its east and the north, Algeria to the west, and Libya to the southeast. Okay. Sorry. I have a technical problem. Okay. Ministry of Education is responsible for the basic and secondary education, while the Ministry of Higher Education is responsible for administrating higher education in Tunisia. Tunisian education system is based on the French model, merely emphasized and revising the curriculum. I mean, the first language is Arabic, and the second language is French. And now we have English as a third language. Okay. Then education is compulsory until the age of 16. It's obligatory for all children until the age of 16. The state guarantees the right of free public education at all levels. It ensures that the necessary resources are provided for the service of quality education, teaching, and training. Provides Article 44 of the new Tunisian Constitution of 2022. Early childhood care and education, ECC, preschool education, in Tunisia is for children aged from 3 to 6 years. This level of education is optional and is offered by kindergarten, PEBs, and other preschool educational institutions. Basic education or enseignement de base. Basic education in Tunisia is compulsory and lasts for 9 years. This level of education is split up into 2 stages. First, primary education, this educational level lasts for 6 years and provides basics, written and oral expression, as well as arithmetic and reading. The second level is lower secondary. This educational level lasts for 3 years and deepens the basic education. It also develops communication skills of students in Arabic and 2 other foreign languages like French and English, or we can have Spanish, Turkish, or Dutch language. Certificate awarded. At the end of basic education, pupils must undertake a national exam national, and those who pass it are awarded a diploma or certificate of basic education, diplôme de fin d'études d'enseignement. I write in French because secondary education, students who have successfully completed lower secondary education are eligible for secondary education in Tunisia. It lasts 4 years. The level of education is divided into 2 stages of 2 years, general academic secondary education and specialized secondary education. And at the end of general academic stream, students must sit for a Tunisian baccalaureate exam. It's the finish of the secondary school. Vocational and technical secondary education. The Ministry of Employment manages the vocational and professional courses for study. There are 2-year vocational courses that lead to the certificate of professional aptitude. Students who pass the professional technician certificate are eligible for 2 years higher technical program. Higher education in Tunisia is offered by universities and higher institutes. There are both public as well as private higher education institutes in Tunisia. Higher educational qualification. Following are Tunisian higher education qualification. Bachelor's degree. This degree requires 3 years of full-time study. Master's degree. This degree lasts for 2 years. And doctorate degree lasts for 3 until 5 years, depending on the field of study. Higher education in Tunisia is offered by the university and higher institute. We see that. Students must hold a Tunisian baccalaureate diploma. In order to enter higher education, the admission procedure in Tunisia is centrally managed through a national university orientation system. International students in Tunisia. Entry requirement: visa is needed in order to enter Tunisia in order to study. Language requirement: international students are required to demonstrate a working knowledge of French or Arabic or English. Study and living: the cost of studying and living varies. Tunisia is an affordable destination for both studying and living. Also, we expect foreign students from Africa, from Europe, and from Algeria, Libya. That's all. But our Tunisian students, they go to Asia, India, or European different university. Pioneer in the field of education in the MENA area, Tunisia devotes almost 14% of the total state budget, representing 7% of its GDP, to the development of its education system. Tunisia is also one of the first countries in North Africa and the Arab countries to engage in the field of e-learning. Thanks to its quality and accessibility to all, the education system in Tunisia achieved the following performance: 99% of schooling rate, 6,654 educational institutions, 275 higher education institutes, 65 of which are private university, over 1,000 vocational training centers. Tunisia ranks the second on a global level in terms of postgraduate degree rates in sciences, engineering, industry, and construction. The source is the Global Innovation Index 2018. According to Shanghai ranking published on August 15, 221, Tunis El Manar University is among the top 1,000 universities in the world, and it was in the top of 401 until 500 in mathematics and 200 until 300 in veterinary sciences. It was also listed in the top 400, 500 in clinical medicine and 300, 400 in public health in the world. There are private universities in the state, the number 64. Besides, state institutions are also functioning. The higher education system of Tunisia is represented by 166 universities with 1,741 study programs. In addition to that, 1,038 bachelor programs and 106 universities, 626 master programs at 121 universities, and 77 PhD programs at 18 universities. Most students in higher education in Tunisia are enrolled in public institutions. 2021 and 22 academic year, nearly 257,000 students attend public tertiary education. On the other hand, only around 42,200 students were enrolled in private university. The Tunisian education system includes 13 universities, including a virtual university allowing distance education. These universities have 203 public and 68 private higher education institutes. 1,497 foreign students in 49 nationalities follow their studies, as well as the success rate is 78.2%, according to statistics from the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research of 2018-2019. The COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated the crisis in education. In an attempt to curb the spread of the pandemic, schools were closed for 6 months from 2 March until 15 September, with very limited online instructions and the cancellation of third-term internal evaluation. Back to school, this academic year, primary, secondary, and secondary school, pupils attended school on alternate days to avoid crowded classes. Students with access to internet in Tunisia 2020 by educational level. As of October 2020, representatively only 27 and 40% of middle, secondary, and primary education students in Tunisia had access to the internet at home. Partnership with foreign university. You see, we have partnership with Spain, France, Italy, Senegal, Korea, Algeria, Sweden, Bulgaria, Portugal, Turkish, Germany, Swiss, Egypt. Then you see we have different partnership with Europe, Africa, and not a lot Asia. We want other partnership with India and other foreign countries. According to statistics announced by Ministry of Education, about 5,600 students have dropped out of school in the past 5 years. They called on all parties concerned to redouble their efforts to fight against school dropout in view of alarming figures recorded from year to year. It should be noted that the schools which are in the interior regions or rural regions are in a bad state, and still now serious problems due to the deterioration of the infrastructure, the lack of equipment, educational and administrative staff. However, private schools are well equipped and a good alternative for those who have the means. Public schools On the contrary, class sizes can reach between 30 and 40 number of pupils. This negatively impacts the effectiveness and quality of teaching. In addition, hinders the application of required pedagogy for the skills-based teaching approach, namely opportunities for practical application, as previously mentioned. Schools use their wealth to equip themselves with all the educational tools, in particular modern technologies, and therefore to offer an in-depth educational program in line with the pedagogies, in particular those which require a limited number of students, such as project pedagogy or differential pedagogy. Therefore, in these schools, class sizes not exceed 20 students. The reduced number of people can lead to more effective teaching and approach followed by developed countries. There are no criteria that determine the level of the child, like those adopted in the Tunisian system. Numbers are not criterion of excellence, and they do not determine the true level of intelligence. Recommendation: the relevant authorities of the Ministry of Education, regional delegates, and stakeholders in the education process must abandon the skill-based education system, which has proven to be a failure in the public sector due to the decline in school performance. Follow the educational best practice of countries with high-ranking educational system, such as reform the score-based assessment system. Allow teachers and students to determine the learning areas themselves according to the specificity of the class and the needs of each child. Extend school time that the teacher can apply different pedagogies. This enshrines the principle of equal opportunities between learners and guarantees equitable education for all and maintenance of the public school system. We are very pleased to invite you to invest in Tunisian education, especially in private universities. We are expecting partnership from all over the world. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. Once again, I request all the speakers, please make it 5 minutes because we have allotted slots. As for that, you please keep going with your 5 minutes. I invite Maria Alicia Maldonado from Argentina. Maria Alicia, ma'am, from Argentina.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. I would like to share my screen if that is possible, and I promise to stick to the 5 minutes.
Yes, you can, Excellency. Over to you.
Okay. Well. First of all, I want to thank you for the invitation. I'm really proud to be part of this World Peace Summit. And I consider that we should all join efforts in order to improve our living conditions. And one essential issue is to achieve peace all over the world. We need to develop a culture of peace. Oh, sorry. So many. Okay. In which will be achieved when citizens of the world understand global problems, something that is possible because we have the opportunity to contact everybody around the world through connectivity. Have the skills to resolve conflict constructively, that is, without violence, know and live by international standards of human rights, gender and racial equality, It was mentioned here that in some countries, women don't have the same opportunities as men, and this should be changed. Appreciate cultural diversity, developing empathy towards different choices, and respect the integrity of the earth, which will keep our world safe and healthy. This is only possible if we educate for peace, and that means we should have intentional education. We should plan what we want to teach in order to achieve the goal we have established. Working together, if possible, with other countries will allow us to have sustained education a long time. And it should be systematic because we should include these topics in the curriculums of schools. It should also be promoted by advertising campaigns and by the government, private institutions, etc. This is so because even though education has its own niche in the Sustainable Development Goals, which is sorry, which is established in goal number 4, which states ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. We know that education cuts across all the other sustainable development goals because education opens eyes and minds. Educators should become agents of change. And we are going to achieve that if we educate for peace, which means to build public awareness and political support for the introduction of peace education into all spheres of education, including non-formal education in all schools throughout the world, and to promote the education of all teachers to teach for peace. We are not always prepared to work at this level. So we need to get some aid from people who have already experienced or who are experiencing this kind of education. Who should teach for peace? Educators. And I include among them parents, caretakers, and teachers, because we can bring about the change the world needs if we provide the tools for individuals to develop self-awareness and awareness of others, working collaboratively and being empathetic. Inhabitants of the whole world can hold hands to improve genuine communication, which will lead to better global living conditions. This dream can turn into tangible reality if educators inspire children since birth. Children learn what they live, not what they are told. We need to create experiences which help them to become aware of the relevance of individual and social responsibility. We should start educating younger generations who are the ones who will bring about this necessary change. We know that what we teach in the classroom influences different homes, and this brings about change in neighborhoods and in society in general. What we do ripples, and that is my claim today. We educators need to become aware of the fact that we need to establish priorities and move beyond our classrooms. The experiences we offer our students should get parents involved, friends involved, the shopkeepers of the neighborhood involved, so that everybody experiences the relevance of peaceful atmosphere for developing environmental integrity, economic viability, and just society, which in turn will bring about peace. This is what I wanted to share. Thank you very much for having listened to me.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much. That was so beautiful and on time. Thank you. I hope Dr. Shaba ma'am is there. Ma'am, are you there? Okay, I invite Shauli Mukherjee ma'am, I think joined. Honorable Shauli ma'am, are you there? Shauli Mukherjee.
Yes.
Can
Am I
you please-
audible?
Can you please switch on your video?
I will. I just joined. Just a minute.
Let me invite you first. Professor Dr. Shauli Mukherjee, Director, School of Education and Associate Dean, School of Liberal Arts and Culture Studies, Adams University. Over to you, ma'am. Hello.
A very, very good evening to all of you, and I hope I'm audible.
Yes, perfectly. Perfectly.
Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity, and I'm really delighted to be on this platform today. So since the topic of our discussion is SDG 4, quality education and peace, well, I would like to share that in order to understand and ensure quality education for all, first of all, I think it's extremely crucial to understand that our traditional educational norms actually force our young learners to metaphorically draw and color within the lines. That is to conform and to compete, and not to create or to innovate. Sadly enough, this is the condition of our current education system, which definitely needs a major redefinition and reimagination. I have a very pertinent question in mind, that can we at all think of quality education when we are actually in practice, involving all the students and the young learners and putting them in one box and thinking that they can learn the same thing in the same way and preferably on the same day. I think we are doing a major mistake here, because we as educators, we are not producing any kind of product which will be same. We have to understand that each and every child is born with a unique blueprint, with an ability to create a unique world of difference around him or her. That is the uniqueness of each and every child. So when we speak about quality education, we have to give utmost focus and priority to the uniqueness of the child, which is, I think, unfortunately, very much missing in our current education system. It is very vital for all of us to understand that the real world, which the child will be facing in days to come, actually rewards those amply who can think out of the box and can carve his or her own path. And in order to sustain and thrive in this 21st century, ever increasingly changing workforce, and especially when we speak about the VUCA world, the volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world, what is actually needed is the ability to collaborate and cooperate and not cutthroat competition. The problem is, since childhood, when we impress this fact upon our children that it is so very important for everyone to come first in everything that they do, that is, cutthroat competition is the key to success. Whereas the 21st century world actually gives a lot of priority to collaboration and cooperation. Then the question is, why are we forcing our children to compete, and that to being a part of an unhealthy competition. So any discussion on quality education, I think, cannot leave aside these discussions. We can say, a lot of visionary and fanciful words and phrases for quality education, but it's extremely crucial for us to understand what is the stark reality that is facing each one of us. Quality education is also about destigmatizing failures and mistakes. Now, unfortunately, we have a kind of a culture which stigmatizes failures and mistakes. So you can do everything, but you cannot commit any mistake, or you cannot encounter failure in your life. Now, we have to think that who has ever learned in this world without committing mistakes? So if that is so, then why we are so very stigmatized about failures and mistakes? Why do we not let our children fail, and that to a multiple number of times? It's also very important for all of us to realize, and at the same time ensure, that the process is more important than the outcome. Again, we come from a kind of a culture where we give a lot of importance to the board results, right? We give a lot of importance to the results, to the marks, to the scores, but we do not give any importance to the process through which the child learns everything. And that process definitely involves a lot of mistakes and failures. So when we speak about quality education, these are few of the components which we actually cannot leave out. We focus on learning, but how many of us actually focus on unlearning and relearning? I think time to introspect. And as educators, if we do not bring these topics on a public platform, if we do not discuss about these openly, then who would? And when we talk about the convergence of quality education and peace, well, we all know that education is a very, very potent force to ensure and promote world peace. Is our education system in place which actually teaches our young learners emotional intelligence, ability to collaborate and cooperate with each other, ability to understand your own emotion and the emotion of others? So if that is not so, then how can we ensure that our children are actually learning the most important and vital lessons of life, and that is compassion, kindness, and love? Compassion, kindness, and love actually happen to be the major components of world peace. I rest my case here. Thank you so much and inviting me to this wonderful platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much. Connecting education with peace. You are already amazing. Then once again, it's the best example, a proof that you are the best. It again, thank you so much for having your presence, because for the last 2 years, whenever we organized a major program, you are there to support us, and still you are continuing that notion. Thank you so much. And we have our beloved friend, Dr. Alka Mahajan ma'am. Alka Mahajan ma'am, can you please switch on your video?
Hello.
Yes. So small introduction about the great Alka Mahajan ma'am. Energy. The moment she appears on screen, she brings a lot of energy. Only one word. If our Shauli ma'am is education, then Alka Mahajan ma'am is certainly the energy. Because whatever the time it may be, she gives a lot of energy to the screen and to the viewers, whoever watching her program, whatever the topic, whatever the subject it may be. But she is a passionate educator, and she is a multifaceted personality. That is different. But her passion towards education as an academician, she chose to be here on this special day, both day, as a CEO of Alka,
Chilparco International.
Chilparco, sorry. Chilparco International. I'm sorry,
Yes,
I'm really
yes.
sorry.
No, that's
so once
fine.
again, we are inviting energetic speech by the great Alka Mahajan ma'am. Over to you.
First of all, thank you so much, Dr. Raja Rao, and my very honorable Queen sister, Dr. Caroline, and the charming Prince. Thank you so much to Vishwa Humanity United Royal International Council for organizing this amazing blockbuster series of, world peace, connecting the global community together, discussing on topics of all sustainable development goals from 1 to 17. I think that is something really which is the need of the hour, because that we still have a long way to go, though we've really achieved a lot, but we still have a long way to go, and not only in one particular goal, but in all goals. And basically the ultimate goal is to achieve a sustainable lifestyle. So with that, greetings of peace, love, and happiness to each and every one of you, all the great, wonderful leaders from all over the globe. Thank you so much once again for organizing this amazing series of world peace, as you always do year after year, and it's amazing to always be a part of it. Quality education, I know the theoretical part has been said by a lot of you, many of you, and we all know those things. But when we talk about quality education, ladies and gentlemen, we need to remember that ultimately quality education needs to have a vibration of positive change. That vibration has to be created by passionate educators like all of you. The ones who are really fighting for the cause of education. When we talk of quality education, we mean an education that is accessible to all, where the teachers are trained and equipped well to impart the necessary education to students, to the young ones, because after all, they're the posterity. They're the future change leaders. And it's good to know that most of them, ever since the COVID, we've realized that many of the young ones have shown remarkable skills, especially when it comes to technology. They're using that technology amazingly as entrepreneurs, as young entrepreneurs. And, many times I feel amazed that, we're learning so much from them as well. That is why at Chilparco International, we always believe that, learning is always lifelong, and we keep on learning from one another, from the young ones, from the old ones, from everyone. There is that power of learning, because everyone is so unique and everybody has so much to share. But all these things we all know about them. We all know that many of us, if we're so passionate about education, there are so many causes, there are so many organizations that are, working towards the cause of education, and they are doing it selflessly. So that is the wonderful, amazing part. And, it is because of those organizations that are passionate that we have achieved whatever we have. But yet, there are some countries in the world who have achieved more than us. Now, what is the reason for all this? Where is it that we're really lacking? I would just say something very short and actually sweet, that, it's education needs to be a lifelong learning experience, but it can only be a lifelong learning experience, if there is that empathy in all of us, if there is that, that feeling of actually sharing with love, and spread, and the learning journey has to be a happy one, because if the learning journey is not a happy one, nobody's really going to learn anything which is sustainable. It will be there for 1 day, 2 days, a month, 1 year, and after that it will just disappear. Education needs to be sustainable. Education needs to be lifelong. And for that, it needs to be a happy experience. We need to have wonderful educators who are truly passionate about it. And as such, when we're talking about a happy experience, even the educators need to be happy. They need to be made, they need to be felt, valued in the organization wherever they're working. Because if they're not valued, then they will not be able to impart that kind of passion or infuse that kind of passion, which is so necessary in order to, actually groom students for a lifetime, for, being equipped to face the challenges of life. It doesn't just come like that. And it is not only found in books. It is actually practical. We need to teach them practical skills. That is why we have vocational education. We have skills education these days, which I feel very important, because ultimately we need to impart an education to the young ones, which is which also leads to their employability at some stage of time, because they need that. They need to feel confident about themselves, and they can become confident with whatever skill and uniqueness they have within them. So they're all unique, they're all unstoppable in their own tenacious way, but we need to guide them well. And as such, if the educators are looked after well, if they are also, if their basic needs are met in an organization, obviously the passion to, infuse that kind of spirit and bring that kind of training in the classroom will become magnificent. It's going to be a remarkable experience. Then, another thing that we always keep on, we say that, like, for example, our country is a diverse country. We have so many different cultures within our own country. We need to appreciate diversity. We are talking of inclusive education these days. We're talking of looking after the needs of each and everyone. Each and everyone needs to be given importance. And I personally feel it's a wonderful initiative that, compulsory education for all, and for some age groups, free education till the middle years is a wonderful thing. But, somewhere down the line, we need to also give importance to merit. Some student deserves it, no matter what caste, creed, ethnicity, society part, community that the child belongs to, that the young one belongs to. He or she must be given their due. We cannot, sort of, just reject them outright, that, okay, so this is the reservation, this is this community, this is that. We cannot do all those things. Then, the purpose of education is defeated. Then what quality education can we achieve? We need to, really bring up people, the young ones who are deserving. Of course, when I'm not saying that, everybody should be ignored over here, or certain castes or communities or people should be ignored. Everyone should have access. But then, when it comes to certain areas, or where people should actually fit in, when it comes to streams and schools in the senior classes, when it comes to colleges, the kind of courses that they get, deserving candidates who really have an aptitude and an attitude towards that particular stream should get it. It should not be that we start discriminating on several areas. We need to be having that amount of objectivity. We cannot work with subjectivity. We cannot say that, okay, I'm going to be working just for one particular group. No, it doesn't work that way. Every child in the classroom is unique. Everyone in this whole wide world is unique. So everyone needs to be given equal opportunities, and no discrimination needs to be done. Having said that, at the same time, we need to also understand that everybody needs some. I mean, it would be wonderful if people could do work without any kind of supervision. But the point is that, some kind of supervision and some kind of coordination is necessary. So what is required again is that for quality education to actually prevail, when very young people take on the mantle of leadership roles, somewhere, we sort of just disregard experience. I'm not saying that, it is good that we catch them young, and it's good that, the young ones have really donned the mantle and, really gotten headlong into things and are doing wonderfully well. But at the same time, they need guidance and mentoring themselves. So, if experience could be added along with the, training that we give to the teachers, there has to be an experienced person monitoring and guiding, so that, things remain balanced. We talk of a yin and yang energy, and I was talking of that vibration towards quality education. If we really need to transform lives, we need to bring in that kind of vibration where everyone's uniqueness comes together in order to provide quality in the field of education. It doesn't just work one way by saying that we must be doing, we should have this number of classrooms and this. That all is immaterial and that is secondary. It comes, but if there is a lot of happiness in the learning experience, if no one is discriminated, whether it is the gifted child or the child who is average or the child who is a slow learner, we need to give equal opportunities to all. We need to understand their uniqueness. That is the only way forward towards quality education. And if we really need to build a sustainable society, it all works with education. It all works with sustainability in education. Because if there's sustainability in education, quality education persists, then, you know, there is so much awareness. Then all the goals fit in beautifully. They all come together. They all connect wonderfully well. And that is how we have a beautiful planet Earth. You know, it's as simple as that. Education connects because education brings that awareness. Education brings awakening. Education brings transformation. And that's how we can have a healthy, beautiful world. You know, that is what we need. I just had this much to say, you know, there's still a long way to go, you know, and I always like to end with my favorite quote that, you know, in this, the woods are lovely, dark and deep by Robert Frost, but we still, all of us have miles to go before we sleep. You know, it is always to strive, to seek, to find, and never to yield. Manzil mil hi jayegi, bhatakte hi sahi, gumrah to wo hai jo ghar se nikle hi nahi. Let go of ego, let go of your own good. You have your goodness, very good, but everyone has their goodness as well. So let's combine everyone's uniqueness in order to bring that transformative change, even when it comes to quality education. Everything is connected to quality education. That is what I had to say. Thank you so much to the honorables, Dr. Raja Rao, Professor Caroline, Prince, and all the distinguished guests, wonderful leaders from all over the globe. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Keep
Excellency.
doing the
Thank
work
you
that
so
you're
much.
doing. Yeah, thank you.
Right. Now I invite Dr. Pallavi Prakash ma'am, founder and owner, Knowledge Seed Learning Center, and Pallavi Prakash International Productions. Over to you, Excellency. Kindly make it 5 minutes. All the rest of the speakers, please. We don't have much time. Over to you.
Sure. Very good evening, good morning, good afternoon, namaskar. It is an indispensable pleasure to be addressing a global platform once again. Let me extend my heartiest thanks to Dr. Caroline, of course, Dr. Raja Rao, and all the dignitaries who are trying to make this noble zeal a global storm, I would say. Yes, I'm Dr. Pallavi Prakash. I'm a filmmaker, author, and as he told that I'm an international life coach. All right. So I would try to address the topic that is SDG 4 and quality education in my own different way, something out of the box. So as you know, as per my intellect and as per my experience globally since last 25, 30 years, education begins in the mindset. All right. It has to be nurtured. And once it is nurtured, it grows into a big tree. Here on this positive note, let me share my screen and quickly share with all the dignitaries what I have in my mind today. So can I share my screen, Dr. Raja Rao?
Yes, you can.
It says it is disabled.
Yes, now you.
All right. All right. So as all of us know that, you know, education is, it's basically, I would just take the lines from here and explain it my own, you know, experience and context, right? So education is the cornerstone of all the human intellect, okay? And it is the cornerstone of progress, I would say. It is also the key to unlock an individual's potential, fostering social mobility and driving economic growth. However, unfortunately, I would say, despite its critical importance, millions and millions of children all around the globe and young adults around the world are still denied basic access to quality education. That's really unfortunate for all of us. And together, we need to work on this. According to UNESCO, more than 260 million children and young people are out of the school. This is an alarming statistics that highlights an urgent need to address the challenges and barriers that prevents access to quality education. Now, what are these roadblocks or the challenges which is preventing access to, denied access, I would say, to quality education? Let us take a look. All right. Well, as all of us know that, you know, this pact was signed by in Brazil in 1992. Quality education is not about just in access to school buildings and materials. It is about ensuring that students receive a comprehensive education that prepares them for challenges of the future. This includes equipping students with skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, and collaborations. Two keywords, dignitaries, I would like to elaborate here. I've been talking about problem solving skills and skill development since many years now. As all of you know, I've also laid down a platform called Leadership Conclave to enhance quality education and to enhance the critical thinking ability of students and young leaders all across the globe. So these are 3 pointers which I'm really passionate about talking. Number one is education is about, it is in the mindset, right? It cannot be, it has to be, it cannot come from external forces. You need to inculcate it from your own inherent qualities and you need to nurture them, right? So for this, we need to develop the critical thinking ability, number one, thinking out of the box, that is problem solving ability. And number 3 and most important is collaborations. Yes, my dear friends, collaborations is the need of the hour. As Dr. Mahajan also just quoted that, each one of us, which I strongly believe, we have our own nascent talent. So if we combine all the forces, if we combine all the goodness around the globe and all the intellect which we have, just imagine the pool of energy which would evolve. And we are just drops in the ocean. Let us build that pool. Let us, let us push that storm to drive all the negative forces which is denying people quality education. Because in my opinion, education is the stumble block. It's the base of to eradicate poverty, to eradicate gender bias, and to eradicate many more things. Let's take a look to the next slide quickly. Okay, so just the important points here, that we must recognize the benefits of quality education. It goes beyond individual. Another important point here, quality education is not confined, my dear friends, to societies and economics. Okay, it is always about, it has a multiplier effect. I hope I'm clear. It has a multiplier effect. That means that when you combine your energies, when you combine your intellect, when you combine your knowledge, it transcends from generation to generation. And that is why I say it has a multiplier effect. Do not keep it to yourself. Do not confine it to yourself. All right. And knowledge shared is knowledge gained. So this is in short what this slide says. Let us take, what do I have to say next? In many countries, access to education is still limited, unfortunately, particularly for girls and young women. Barriers such as poverty, conflict, discrimination, and lack of infrastructure, another important point here, lack of infrastructure often prevents children from attending school and receiving a quality education. I just produced a movie. Dr. Raja Rao knows about it. I would like to share with all the dignitaries here, which focuses on quality education and the gender bridging basically, globally. And I'm happy to share that it received applause from all the government and private officials. Pan-India. All right. So this is what I need. I was talking about. You need to build that modulus operandi, the infrastructure. All right. The mode can be through books, through cinema, through seminars, through whatever you can do, but at least move ahead and do something about it. Do not just be, it shouldn't be a drawing room talk. All right. It should go beyond seminars. It should go beyond, I would say, the talks, and it should actually touch the ground. All right. Quality education is essential for, yes, achieving SDG 4. We know education is critical for reducing poverty. As I have said, poverty is connected to education. If we have quality education, poverty would eventually go off. All right. So concluding, the achievement of SDG 4 is critical for promoting individual and societal development as a whole. Please mark my words. Societal development as a whole, for reducing poverty and inequality, and thus building a peaceful and inclusive, not exclusive, but inclusive societies. It is essential that we work together. Again, I emphasize, it is important we work together to ensure that all children have access to quality education, and we become not only the drops in the ocean, but we become the catalysts of that storm which I'm talking about. On this positive note, I would also like to end my presentation with one of my very famous words that yes, always be your best version. Do not wait for external forces, but elevate your internal forces to elevate any inequality in society, thus leading to quality education. It was a lovely evening. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. It was a great honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much. That was so awesome. I invite my dear brother, Professor Dr. Pratik Ranjan Mungekar, Vice Chancellor, Professor, Scientist, such an engaged. He is doing many roles. He is here and he is always there whenever we have invited him. Thank you, dear brother. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you so much for your kind introduction. And I congratulate Vishwa Humanity International Royal Council for organizing this prestigious, I must say, World Peace Summit 2023. I'll begin with quality education. So I would like to draw your attention to two words that are often used carelessly in everyday discussions, especially among leaders and business people: quality and education. So every leader promises to provide the populace with quality education, yet many of these promises have come and gone without any remarkable impact on the quality of education provided to the people. So it is on record that many leaders, institutions, organizations, and individuals have in various ways spent large amounts of their resources to ensure that the objective of providing quality education is achieved. However, in most cases, the situation remains the same, unfortunately, and if not worsened. So this begs the question, do such leaders or institutions or bodies understand what constitutes quality education? So just as a woman who doesn't know the ingredients that make soup tasty, may be given a huge amount of money, yet her husband may be tempted to sack her because of the nature of the soup she prepared. So it is therefore necessary that the two key words, quality and education, be defined. Quality. What is quality? Quality is, means the standard of something when it is compared to other things like it, how good or bad something is. So quality is used on every commodity, such as quality shoes, shirts, cars, etc. Any commodity can either be of high quality or low quality, we generally say. So similarly, we have low quality and high quality education. So now let us briefly define education before marrying the two words for a better understanding of the concept of quality education. So today, education has become one of the greatest enterprises and has been defined in different ways by different people in different parts of the world and occupation. A renowned scholar, R.S. Peters, defined education as the transmission of what is worthwhile to those who are committed to it, be they children or adults. Another educator and philosopher, Brahmed, saw education as the greatest power man has not yet subdued. So generally, education can be regarded as an activity which goes on a society, and its aims and methods depend on the nature of the society in which it operates. So education is sensitive to time, place, and circumstances because it is constantly changing and adapting itself to new demands. It is important for us to understand the true meaning of quality and education before we can provide quality education to the populace. So let us work together to define and achieve quality education for all. So ladies and gentlemen, as we talk about quality education, it is important to understand what features. Well, I'm going to focusing on particularly the features that must be present for education to truly be considered of high quality. Without these essential features, any claim of providing quality education may fall short of its intended impact. So firstly, learners must be healthy, well-nourished, and ready to participate and learn. The support of families and communities is also crucial in creating an environment that fosters learning. This is first. Secondly, the learning environment must be safe, protective, gender sensitive, and adequately resourced. So this includes having appropriate facilities of learning. Thirdly, the content of education must be relevant and reflect the acquisition of basic skills such as literacy, numeracy, and life skills, as well as knowledge in areas such as gender, health, nutrition, HIV, AIDS prevention, and peace. Fourthly, trained teachers must use child-centered teaching approaches in well-managed classrooms and schools. So, nowadays the teaching becomes teacher-centered. Okay, we need to educate the educators first. Now, this is the need of the hour, and the skillful assessment to facilitate learning and reduce disparities. And finally, education outcomes should encompass knowledge, skill, and attitudes that are linked to national goals for education and positive participation in society. It is only when all these essential features are present that we can truly claim to be providing quality education to our learners. As leaders and educators, we must prioritize the provision of these features in our education system to ensure that our learners receive the best possible education. As we discuss the concept of quality education, it is important to understand that quality learners make for quality education. The quality of child's life before formal education greatly influences the kind of learners they turn out to be. Quality learners are those who are healthy, have positive early childhood experiences, and receive home support for learning. Firstly, physically and psychologically, healthy children learn faster. Adequate nutrition is critical for normal brain development in the early years. So early detection and intervention for disabilities can give children the best chances for healthy development. So prevention of infection, disease, and injury prior to school enrollment is important to the early development of a quality learner. And it is therefore necessary for parents, educators, and stakeholders to ensure that children are healthy and protected in their early years. Secondly, early childhood experience also contributes a lot to making learners quality learners. Studies in many countries have shown that children who participate in early intervention programs do better in primary school than those who do not benefit from formal early child programs. So effective and appropriate stimulation in child's early years influences the brain development necessary for emotional regulation, arousal, and behavioral management. And it is therefore important to ensure that children have access to quality early childhood education and care problems. A home support or a family support for learning plays a significant role in producing quality learners. Parents have a critical role to play in upliftment of their children's education. The level of education of parents has been picked as one of the great contributors to children's ability to learn in school. Parental education not only influences parent-child interaction related to learning, but also affects parents' income and need for help. It is therefore important for parents to actively participate in their children's learning and provide support for their cognitive and psychosocial development in schools. I will not take much time, just 2-3 minutes more. Quality learners are an integral part of quality education, and ensuring that children are healthy, have positive early childhood experiences, and receive home support for learning is critical to producing quality learners. And let us all work together to ensure that every child has access to quality education, which is essential for their future success. The importance of quality content and processing in education. The curriculum, the most important, should be designed in a way that addresses problems in society and is relevant to students' lives. The quality of teaching is also crucial and and teacher education should be prioritized to ensure that teachers have a deep understanding of their subject matter and effective teaching method, modern teaching methodologies. And the method of teaching should be child-centered, and students should be encouraged to practice and develop life skills such as hygiene and vocational skills. The content should also emphasize literacy, peace education, and non-discrimination. Overall, the goal is to provide students with a well-rounded education that prepares them for a success in success to all aspects of life. And finally, to achieve quality education, it is essential to consider the processes involved in imparting knowledge. Teachers play a significant role in determining the quality of education, and their professional development is critical to ensuring that students learn and master the subject matter. Teacher training, both pre-service and in-service, should aim to develop teaching methods that focus on child-centered, as I discussed earlier also, and active learning rather than passive memorization. Life skills and peace education, very important. Peace education should be emphasized, and the curriculum should be student-centered, non-discriminatory, and standard-based. And to summarize, a quality learning environment requires attention to three main elements: the physical, psychosocial, and service delivery aspects. The physical element includes factors such as modern and well-equipped building, availability of infrastructure and materials, classroom maintenance, and adequate library resources. Class size is also an important consideration. The psychosocial element concerns creating a welcoming and non-discriminatory environment, providing a safe and peaceful environment, and addressing gender-specific issues such as access to education for girls. Teacher behavior, including sexual harassment and violence towards students, can contribute to an unsafe learning environment. So non-violence is critical for learning, and conflict or war can have a significant impact on child's mental health and ability to learn. And finally, service delivery is important for reducing absenteeism and inattention in school, particularly in relation to health services. So overall, a high quality learning environment is critical for supporting successful learning outcomes. With this, I stop here, and I would like to thank Dr. Rajarao Paglipalli and Professor Vijay Caroline for organizing this prestigious World Peace Summit and for giving me opportunity to express my thoughts on this quality education, which is my favorite topic. And thank you so much.
Thank you, dear brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. I invite our dear brother, Dr. Sudhakar Bumale, Adjunct Professor, Thakur College of Engineering from Mumbai. Sudhakar sir, are you there? Dr. Sudhakar sir, can you please switch on your video?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
thank you, sir.
So, I will share my PPTs.
Okay, sir, but please make it 5 minutes, sir.
Okay, okay. Sir. So my screen is visible, sir?
Yes, perfectly, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much, Rao sir. My topic is to quality education. I am Dr. Sudhakar Bumale. Actually, what is quality education? It is very important. Just I quote here: learning gives creativity, creativity leads to thinking, thinking provides knowledge, knowledge makes you great. And hence these 4 words are very important in developing quality education in the school, in the colleges, and different technical education. And hence you have to start learning now to get a knowledge from quality education. One of the scientists, C.V. Raman, has given this quote for quality education. So I will not read this quote, but you can understand very well. Albert scientist told that you have to create the environment in such a way that students can learn quality education in the school as well as in the colleges. And hence quality education has 5 different processes: learning, passion, education, application, and success. So already I have given what is learning. From learning, you'll get the knowledge, and knowledge is the education. So, and why we use quality education? Because we always require the success. And why this quality education depends? Because we require the teaching ability. So what is this teaching ability? Measuring teaching ability has become a central theme of recent government policy on raising standards in college. But what does good teaching really mean? And how should we jump competence, success, and excellence? And hence, always we require competence, success, and excellence through teaching process. And hence, what is this teaching ability? Is developed through methods of teaching. How to make teaching learning process effective? This is the question in the colleges, and we have to answer it to the students. How to make teaching learning process effective? And second question is teaching strategies employed in the teaching processes. As a teacher is the only person who can make a classroom live by teaching energetically. He can deliver proper information and instructions to their students, making the teaching learning process effective. Teaching strategies employed in the teaching learning process depend on the objectives of teaching learning process, the teaching methods used, the understanding capacity of the students, the personality of the teacher. It is the most important. The experience of the teacher in the teaching learning process is the most important. The use of teaching techniques in the classroom. So he has to develop a lot of things in the teaching quality. Next is the method of teaching selections in the classroom. Teacher would create interest and eagerness more and more. There are different teaching methods. How you use teaching selections in the classroom? The method of teaching can be selected in such a way that a teacher can attract the attention of the students during teaching, and students can understand the subjects. Teachers should create interest and eagerness to learn more and more. There are different teaching methods like the teacher-centered method, learner-centered method, content-focused methods, interactive or imperative or participative methods. So interactive and participative method is most important in the quality educations. Teaching is an art and it requires creativity and innovation. It is observed that teaching is an art and it requires creativity and innovations. It is necessary to use specific strategies and methodologies to get learning outcomes for the students. The teaching learning process would be made an effective, enjoyable, interactive learning environment for the students. Teaching concepts are very important. You must know the objectives of teachings, levels of teaching techniques, and basic requirements are essential for successful understanding. Teaching and learning are the two sides of coin. In the case of teacher-centered method, teacher must be a master of the subject matter. In this method, learner involvement is very important. In the case of learning-centered method, the teacher also learns new things every day that he or she didn't know in the process of teaching. In the case of content-focused method, both the teacher and the learners have to fit into the contents that is taught. In this method, appropriate information and skills are important. Interactive or participative methods are driven by the sustainable analysis of the appropriate things. So when you understand the teaching methods, definitely we will get the quality education. Why we require the quality education? It is for high quality education. And by providing high quality educations to all makes India a global knowledge superpower. In case of public school, education system will aim to impart the highest quality education so that it becomes the most attractive option for parents from all walks of life to educate their children. Model public universities for holistic and multidisciplinary education at par with IITs, IMMs. It's called multidisciplinary education and research universities will be set up and aim to attain the highest global standards in quality educations. One of the major causes of educational failure is the supposedly nearly complete control over policies and practice by teachers and other professional educators. Seeing the need for a quality education based on the core values of social justice and social responsibility. National education policies are very important now in India, and hence NEP highlights inclusive practices by making corresponding changes in curriculum, pedagogies, continuous assessment, and student support system to ensure quality educations. The right to education goes beyond free and compulsory education to include quality education for all. Quality is an integral part of the right to education. If the education process lacks quality, children are denied their rights. Several committees like AICT, TCube, UGC have recommended restructuring the overall curriculum to inculcate quality education. There are so many factors that affects quality educations. I have mentioned here some of the quality education factors. First is the lack of communication skills. Students admitted to the rural side lack of communication skills, which paves the way that faculty should always be available for clarifications. Board and chalk methods are outdated, and the best method should be identified to improve teaching. Learning from memorization, but not for understanding. In old age, learning from memorization is very common, but today's we require the understanding of the concepts in the quality education. The material is presented only based on the lecture notes and textbooks. The single approach should not be able to fulfill the criteria of excellent and effective teaching. Therefore, multiple procedures are necessary in the quality education. Now we have to decide what is the goal of education. The goal of education is the growth of students so that they become productive citizens of a dynamic and ever-changing society. Quality education is becoming more important to produce quality engineers. One of the main techniques to provide quality education is activity-based learning. The fundamental goal of any educational institution is to provide quality education and state-of-the-art facilities to students and help them build new skills that would help in shaping their careers. And what is this quality education? Quality education can be achieved not only by teachers and students, but also depends on cooperation and support from the government. The respective education council must look into balancing and updating the current education scenario. Teachers would best teaching practices. Teachers should adapt teaching practices for quality education. These would be smart classrooms, video lectures, PowerPoint presentations, and creative assignments. For quality education, the competency level and the personal character of the teachers are the most important factors. Why we plan for quality education is very important. Quality education will get you through the fundamentals of teaching and skills needed to become a real and effective teacher. I have 4 aspects of quality education, why we require the planning for the teachers. These are the 4 important plannings of the teacher: improve the quality of your lecture, raise the motivation of your students, promote the soft skills of your students, use your time and knowledge more efficiently. And hence, as I am from the mechanical engineering background, I want to suggest some importance of engineering education. Education is an essential need of every human being. It is what provides a wisdom. Education brings into focus the social aspects of man. Education symbolize man's supreme position in the societies. Technology is essentially the need of our engineering is a science involving designing, building, and using machines, engines, and structures. Pursuing an engineering degree is a popular career option in India. Engineering
brother,
education
can
is
you
the
please
practical
conclude?
solutions to
Don't mind.
almost any kind of problem, which holds the capacity to settle and prevent and preview any practical anomaly in the subjects. This is my last slide. Just I want to close it. Engineers are the builders and designers of the world. It is said that engineering is not just a degree, but a way of thinking. A degree in engineering can open up multiple career avenues for the students. The engineer is a professional trained to create engineered systems for the benefit of mankind. He designs these systems and produce goods and services which help in socio-economic and human development in many ways. Thus, engineer has a role not only to benefit society, but also designing society itself. Thank you very much. And we all require quality education from for students, primary school level and higher educations also. Thank you very much.
Sir, Dr. Hardeep Singh Suri, sir, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Sir. Sudhakar sir, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. Now I invite Professor Hardeep Singh Suri, sir.
Thank you,
for
sir.
a beautiful presentation.
To share my screen. Sir, please allow me to share the screen.
Yes, brother. Now you can share.
I think it is visible. Sir, my
Yes.
screen is visible.
Yes, it's visible. It's visible.
Okay. Good evening, Dr. Raja Rao and all the eminent personalities available here on this wonderful platform. So, not wasting too much time, I would like to start my talk. Today's talk is on SDG 4 and peace, quality education and peace. Talking about peace, we all have been talking from so many hours regarding this sustainable development, peace, SDG goals, and everything. Peace is a state of harmony characterized by absence of violent conflict and presence of freedom, justice, and security. It is fundamental human right and crucial element for sustainable development of the societies and the nation. Peace can be, it is negative peace, and second type is, you can say, positive peace. Positive peace involves addressing the root causes of violence such as poverty, inequality, discrimination, and lack of access to education. So I have already talked about positive peace. These are the pillars of peace: well-functioning government, then good relations with neighbors, high level human capital, acceptance of rights of others, and low levels of corruption. All these are the pillars of peace. We are talking about quality education, SDG 4. These are the three pillars of this quality education curriculum. Then the curriculum identifies the learning outcomes, standards, implementation, and core competencies. Then talking about instructions, the combination of strategies to deliver the intended content by the teacher, instructor that impacts the motivation to learn, that is very much required. Motivation is very important factor that is required in the teacher as well as in the student. Then knowledge retention, achievement, and behavior of students, that matters a lot in quality education. Then assessments. Assessment is again very much important, that includes measuring to the the very important aspect, very important point that has been untouched till research is very much important to make an education should be from the student life. I have been teaching the MTech students, BTech students, when they come up to the postgraduate level or up to the PhD level, they are horrified by what is the research project, what is the research paper, how to write a research paper, that may becomes a problem for them. So the research mindset should be a step by implementing this NEP 2020, in which have to be inculcated in the minds of the students from the early age. And the one point that Dr. Alka has already mentioned, that we have to come out these webinars, seminars, conferences, and make it practical to make the quality education. And we have to implement this research mindset in the students practically. I inculcating research in the school students. I have been mentoring the school students even from the class 6 students, and the students have you can say presented the research papers in the education summit that have been conducted in Sushant University in Greater Noida on 19th of April. The students of even class 6, they have presented the paper, research paper. Then research and innovation based learning and teaching. Not only learning, not only you can say teaching is also required. The teachers are also required to be research oriented and research and innovation in the students. Is another important part of that, you can say quality education, creative thinking, critical thinking out of box is also required for the quality education. You can say is many brilliant minds have taken birth in this you can say country, India. India is not like anything, but only the thing that is required to implement practically everything. That I have that is and we need to inculcate that quality education plays a crucial role in promoting peace at both individual and societal level. Quality education promotes critical thinking, and I will again, you can say, repeat that critical thinking skills enables to analyze information, evaluate assignments, and to make informed decisions. Then quality education promotes tolerance and understanding, and to, you can say, stop a war or to make peace, tolerance is very much required. Quality education promotes human rights, then quality education promotes economic development, that is very much required, and a quality education promotes social cohesion, food and peace, that when there is no problem on the planet, it may be poverty, it may be hunger, it may be education quality, gender equality, clean water, anything. We have talked about, you can say, 17 SDG goals, but I can say that if there is quality education, we work on the quality education and implementations are done, every problem can be solved. And quality education plays a very important role in, you can say, maintaining peace, in promoting peace in our nation, as well as in the globe, in the world, in the universe. So I would like to thank Dr. Raja Rao and Dr. Vijay Caroline for inviting me platform to give my expert talk on this SDG 4 and peace. Thanks once again.
Thank you, dear brother. Thank you so much. Really a great scholarly presentation. You did a lot of hard work. Thank you, dear brother. I invite next speaker, Dr. Smita Shine Onat. I think she is there. She has arrived. Smita ma'am, are you there? Dr. Smita Shine. She's there.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
there is some technical
Good evening,
problem from
sir.
your
Good
side.
evening, sir. I'm here. Yes. Yeah, we have the power has gone, sir. Here.
Yes, yes. Please carry on.
Yes, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you, ma'am. Please make it short.
Yes, I cannot sit. Okay. I would like to share the screen. Can you see my screen?
No, ma'am, not it.
Okay, just a minute. Now, can you hear? Can you see my screen, sir?
Your screen is not visible, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay, leave it. Okay, so I'm not sharing my screen. Okay, because time is not there. And I would like to talk about today. We are going to discuss about the SDG 4. First of all, thank you so much, sir, for inviting me. Thank you so much for the organizing committee of World Peace Summit 2023. So we are talking about the quality education and SDG 4, that is one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals established by the United Nations in 2015. And the main aim is to ensure the inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. So the importance of quality education, we cannot be overemphasized, because that is the, as per my opinion, that is the fundamental human right that empowers the individuals and communities to break the cycle of poverty. Along with that, it transforms the individuals. It realizes their full potential. So quality education, it promotes the economic growth of the country as well as the economic growth of the individuals, and it promotes the economic growth, social cohesion, and sustainable development. However, despite the progress that has been made in the recent years, many children and young people, we know that they still access to lack of quality education. In fact, according to the United Nations data, it shows that around 260 million children worldwide are out of school, and many more are in school but not learning due to the lack of resources or the lack of infrastructure. So in order to achieve the SDG 4, we need to focus on several key areas. I will make it short. Firstly, we need to ensure that all children have access to education, especially those who are marginalized, such as girls. Like so many speakers told about the discrimination among the, the girls, marginalized girls, children with disabilities, and those living in conflict affected areas. So second thing is, we need to improve the quality of education by providing well-trained teachers. So many speakers told about that there are lack of teachers, well-trained teachers in this field. So we need that. And also we need adequate resources and infrastructure. And also we have to update the curriculum. That is very important. That is the need of the hour. And also we have to promote the lifelong learning opportunities for all. That means including the adults who missed out, some couldn't make their education, right, because of some problems. So we have to give that lifelong learning opportunity for all, including the adults who missed out on education earlier in their life. So in that way, we can promote the quality of education. And we know that the COVID-19 pandemic, that has highlighted the importance of quality of education. Like so many schools were closed, universities as disrupted, and millions of children, they lack their education worldwide. So it has also exposed and increased the existing inequalities in education, and especially children from the disadvantaged backgrounds, they are more likely to be left behind. So all these are the challenges and the issues we are facing in today's education world. So we need to invest in innovative solutions that can help ensure continuity of learning during crises such as pandemic. And moreover, as individuals, we can also do our part. Like a small act can change a lot of difference, right? Even we can visit our nearby schools and we can check whether the infrastructure is access, or I mean it is sufficient or not. We something is there, we can contribute there, like through amount, or we can take classes for the needed children. In that way we can do a lot. Like we can take online classes, we can mentor the young people, and we can create that awareness of education among the children. So education means it is not in the like getting a certificate or a degree, it is transforming the lives. So I would like to conclude that education liberates the intellect, unlock the imagination, and it is fundamental for the self-respect. Thank you so much, sir. Here I am
Thank you
facing
so much.
some network issues. That is why
Yes, yes, we can
I
understand.
don't know. Yes, I cannot. Hyderabad, it is heavy rain, sir. I cannot open this one also. I'm using
No
mobile
problem, no
data
problem.
now.
No problem.
Yes, sir. Oh, thank you so
That's
much,
wonderful
sir.
presentation. I invite dear brother, Dr. Subrata Chattopadhyaya, Professor and HOD, University of Engineering and Management, Kolkata. Sorry, dear brother, for making you wait, because it happened. Over to you, brother.
Yeah. So at the outset, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and my sincerest thanks to my dear brother Raja sir and Caroline madam, for the opportunity. And I think this is the first time that I'm speaking at the World Peace Summit 2023. So when we talk about SDG 4, about the UN SDG 2030, when we talk about education per se, I would like to quote, first of all, Swamiji's speech. His sentence was, education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. And that's what the great reformer, Swami Vivekananda, had to say. And he went on to say, when we talk about education, it's about education at the grassroots. And he said that we want education by which character is formed, strength of mind is increased, the intellect is expanded, and by which one can stand at one's own feet. And that is what education is. We actually, when we talk about education, education is not academics. It's different. Education is at every point of our life, at the way that we behave. Today, I was seeing one video on WhatsApp which talks about the difference in education between Singapore and India. And a person commented that we are 50 years behind them. Why this is so? See, education is about how our upbringing, our culture, our learning, not only the rote learning that we have, but it is about the learning from everywhere, from at every step in our life process. The way that we behave, the way that we act in public is all about education. So when we talk about education and the goals of UN SDG, it is about creating a platform, creating a forum wherein education and quality education can be achievable for everyone. We are now seeing that the two countries are fighting for their power. There are many others who want to become a world superpower and do business. So at the expense of many children, many people who are fighting their hunger, their poverty. The countries are fighting for achieving their business goals. Is that education? So basically, I am a professor of University of Engineering and Management, and the small efforts that we do towards educating the underprivileged is that we have adopted 6 villages, and our children who are actually being privileged and being educated at the cost of others, who are not very fortunate by birth to be educated, they are actually going after their classes and teaching their the children, the adults who are not educated, who are illiterate, making them at least semi-literate so that they can actually learn and fight for their own rights. Besides, we are also providing education to the children in our college from the slums around, and these are the ways by which we are actually trying to promote education. We are in a global world. Together, we should collaborate, we should co-create, we should synergize, and that would bring us peace. It is not about power. It is not about achieving the numero uno in the world, but it is the true education which can actually bring about peace in the world. And that is the mantra, to have an education which can bring about sustainability, which can bring about peace, and which can bring about harmony amongst all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear brother. Thank you. Your beginning quote is really so great and revolutionary, making difference from academics and education. So great, brother. So great.
With all your
And,
blessings.
we want to hear you. We want to hear more from you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Sweta ji, don't think you are the last. You are last but not the least. You are the powerhouse. That's why I kept to you, because I think that you can give you the best closing to this program. So that's why you are there, because you are always there. You start from the beginning and you stay till the end, and you are with us. Thank you so much. Let me introduce my dear friend Sweta ji, an international speaker, educationist, academic advisor, corporate trainer, and coach. Above all, a great supporter of Vishwa Humanity United International Royal Council. Over to you, Excellency.
Namaste. Namaste, sir. Namaste, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Raja Rao, sir, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And I extend my best wishes to you and to Caroline, ma'am. And it's my pleasure to present keynote on the topic quality education. So I would really start this beautiful topic with wonderful quotation. That is, Sa Vidya Ya Vimukte. That means where there is knowledge, there is liberation of mankind. Education is the holiest aspect of human being, which eliminates the individual, nations, and world. Education is considered the most important tool for human resource development. Education means, basically, when I talk about education, it's a combination of formal, informal, and non-formal education. Formal education can give you one-time success, but to maintain that, you need to have the informal education, and to maintain the happiness in life and the spark in life, that non-formal education is required. The importance of education in all society is creating moral unity, harmony, and values which are foundation of society. With formal education plays an important role. Education must teach citizens to respect the cultural heritage, protect the environment, and adopt methods of production and patterns of consumption which leads to sustainable development, between harmony between individual and collective value, and to promote and to start the process of this world peace, we need to start it from very initiative level. That is the teaching of the kids, starting from from at home and at the schools. The parent and teacher should discuss issues on peace, world, world citizenship, and social responsibilities to promote peace culture among students. When discussing several issues related to peace, education emphasis need to be given on the diversity of traditions and customs found around the world. They should respect each and everyone, irrespective of caste, religion, and to whatever society they are. They need to taught to promote a sense of harmony with oneself and social environment. Even if I talk about the soft skill part, as everyone mentioned, is very important. That will help us to understand the emotional intelligence. Basically, when we are talking about emotional intelligence, it's understanding our own emotion and to understand others' point of view. Positive behavior, which is showing the behavior which is acceptable by everyone, that is sociable, and which means Satyam, Shivam, and Sundaram, truth, beauty, and goodness. It is Swatvik in nature. Those are meant for well-being of individual, society, as well as for nation. And importantly, peace begins with the individual and spreads to family, to community, to the nation, and to the world. Inner peace, before starting the peace work, before like we need to have that peace, like when we it's outer peace and inner peace. So inner peace is the seat of all collective peace. Peace implies the ability to respond to the surrounding suffering and others need in way that affirms faith in light beyond the darkness, that can show some kind of hope. The ability to respond and affirmatively to the needs and suffering of others is the hallmark of authentic inner peace. It is an exclusive obsession with peace of oneself, but a commitment to a peace for all. Now, I would like to conclude by saying, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, the world is one family. And sir, you are doing great work, the complete team, sir, and Caroline ma'am, starting with this World Peace Summit. And thank you so very much giving me this wonderful opportunity. We are all one and we all have to grow together. And education is important, tool, I must say. Thank you.
Thank you, Shweta ma'am. We thought he would give a suitable, catchy ending to this program. And from education to peace, you have taken to the right point, right in, because we are arranging all these sustainable development programs or sustainable development summits because one aim, the goal is peace. We can achieve peace through all these sustainable development goals. That is our trust. And thank you for justifying that. Through education, we can reach that point. Thank you so much, Excellency. Thank you so much. And I thank each and everyone. So in the end, we say thanks to one another, then we depart. So we start with Professor Solomon brother. Solomon brother, thank you so much. From the day one, it's a day fourth. Continuous support. Thank you, dear brother. Say hi to all. Professor Solomon brother. Thank you. Thank you so much. Then you are not visible. Say something so that you can be on screen. Professor.
Okay, I appreciate everyone that is here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much, sir. And then Ambassador Dr. Stephen, brother, thank you for joining. You have been joining from the day one. Thank you so much for your joining and support to this World Peace Summit, brother. Then Archana Priyadarshini, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining. And thank you for wonderful speech, presentation. Thank you so much. And dear Pratik, brother, of course, you are always amazing. And one more amazing day. One more amazing presentation from you. Thank you, dear brother, Dr. Pratik. And Vishwanath Panigrahi, sir. We are expecting the day when you are going to give a presentation. The day would soon come. But until then, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes. Thank you so much. because you were last year there with us for the 18 days, and this time also you are supporting us for these 18 days. Thank you so much, sir. Then Dr. Sudhakar, sir, you are a new addition to our team. Really, you did a marvelous, fantastic job, sir. Your presentation is so cool.
Thank you, sir.
You are such a graceful and resourceful person, sir. Having your presence in this program, really, it has added some strength to this quality education program. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Then Geeta Suravamshi, ma'am, you are so amazing. You are there for the last 3 years with us as a supporter. Thank you so much for extending.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Then I say thanks to Maria ma'am from Argentina. She has brought so much of love from Argentina. She has started the program and has given in the middle a lot of strength boost to this program. Thank you, ma'am. You added so much of value. Thank you so much. So much love from Argentina. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. We are so blessed. We are so blessed with your presence. Thank you so much. The presentation is fantastic, and your presence, that is more than that. Thank you so much. Then thanks to Poonam Gothi, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your continuous support in our journey for world peace. Yes, ma'am. Your speech will come soon in coming sessions. We'll see you then. Thank you, ma'am. Then I say thanks to Professor Mike. Where are you? Brother Mike, are you there?
Yes, how are you?
You are the speaker today. We are searching for you, but your name is not visible. I'm really sorry. Just I request all of you just stay there for 3 minutes because he is one of the speaker. I think that he lost his connection, but he's with us. Just please listen to him. He's a great speaker. Over to you, brother. Over to you.
Don't worry. I swear, by the grace of God, I really appreciate you and God will continue to honor you. No problem for that. You understand? Let's just call it a day. You understand me? God bless you and God be with you. So I greet every one of us that happy summit, and I really learned a lot of lessons today because the summit is a wonderful. It's a wonderful. I really enjoyed it. I learned 1 or 2 things, and I believe by the grace of God, when we continue to do something like this, it will continue to equip us, and what the SDG aim for will be achieved. Will be achieved because the moment we gather together like this, when we gather like this in collaboration, share our ideas, our thoughts, and all others of things, we can be able to achieve the aim. Most especially the organizers of this program and you, President Professor Caroline and Dr. Raja, we have done a wonderful job. We have done a wonderful job. So the Sustainable Development Goals are using our call to action to end poverty, protect the world, and ensure that all people enjoy peace, prosperity. So this can be achieved when all of us collaborate together, when we share our ideas, when we share our vision, when we share our thoughts, and we make the education is one of the priority that for us to achieve this thing. So the relationship between this peace and the SDF is a critical one, with education playing a central role in promoting peace and civil these goals. So education is not only fundamental right, but also an essential tool for building more peaceful and just society. By ensuring access to quality education for all, we can promote critical thinking, self-meaning, and understanding across different cultures and communities, and foster the skill and attitude needed for non-violent conflict resolution. In this way, education can contribute to a more peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable for all. But lastly, what I just want to add is that we should allow the young people, because we said the young people are the leaders of tomorrow. So it is important to know that promoting peace through education is a long-time process that requires sustained investment and commitment. It is not something that can be achieved overnight, but rather it requires a continuous effort to provide quality education that promote critical thinking. And at the same time, we should promote peace. We must work together and allow the young ones, because they are the instrument that they can use to connect ourselves together, let their voice be heard, and allow them to have their own way on our idea. By do this, we see that by the grace of God, everything will be all right with us. Thank you very much. I really appreciate every one of you, and I appreciate both of you, especially the Shama and my friend. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, dear brother. Thank you. But if it is ended, no problem, because you have given blessings. Thank you, dear brother. Thank you so much. We are really sorry. We apologize.
No.
Thank you so
No
much.
problem.
Then Professor Dr. Suraya Bano, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. You are also coming as speaker. We'll see that day. Thank you. Thank you so much. Suraya Bano, ma'am, are you there? Say hi to all. Okay. My dear friend, Professor Nada, you have to say
yes, I
greetings
will
to all.
say hi to everybody. I will say another great day, very important education. So we all educators here are amazing. I want to congratulate to our great Dr. Sudhakar. He is an amazing, so many years, so many experience, so many students, doctorates and everything. Our great Professor Maria Alicia from Argentina. Don't cry, Argentina. We are with you here. Raja loves you. So this is a song for you. And great Professor Salama. Oh, Sveta, my dear Dr. Pratik. So amazing day. Another 4-day great, Saraja. Congratulations to you and to great Madame Caroline for this wonderful.
Congratulations to all of us. All of us. Congratulations.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much, Excellency. There will be a special felicitation ceremony to our Professor Nada, because she has stopped all her programs till 18th of this May, and she has dedicated this time to us, because it is a great strength having a friend from Croatia standing for a great cause like world peace, promoting all sustainable. It's not an easy task sitting every day, but there are some friends, Professor Salbam, Professor Nada, and our friends are joining us and supporting us. Really, thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much. And Rayal Anifa from Sri Lanka. Thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much for joining. We hope that we have your blessings to all of us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Then, with this note, I'm going to end this program. As I mentioned in the beginning, we hope by valedictory we may get Union Minister of India, Amit Shahji's message, endorsement, world peace message to our program. We are expecting that today we have completed the formalities they required. So that would be a great success for the South. That would be a great strength to the Savani that we are publishing after this summit. That is the one thing. And second thing is we received a message from West Indies, one country from West Indies, that saying that some foreign minister is going to join this World Peace Summit in the last week. So if these two things might happen, then we'll see so many wonders, and so many eminent people will join in the last week probably. So certainly we'll take this World Peace Summit to great heights, because we take the messages from common people to the top people, because here we are here to take the inputs from all specters. So that's why all specters and all nations. So that's why we are trying to maximize the people, and try to maximize the nations, and try to maximize all sort of people into this. And tomorrow we have a great battle.
Tomorrow,
Yes.
Saraja, you will tell
Yes.
us fight
SDG 5 is
women
a
and
battle.
men.
SDG
Women and
4
men,
is
gender equality.
Yes, SDG 4 is pleasant, but SDG 5 is a battle. Tomorrow we have a war, dangal. Let's all sit together and fight for gender equality. Thank you so much. With this, we conclude this day 4. Thank you.